Hi, this is Ankit Mittal. So today we are going to cover the second part of the service mesh. So earlier we discussed about the service mesh, what service mesh actually is, and how it can be useful in your infrastructure. Then we also discuss some of the offerings, the different products for the service mesh offered by different companies, and today we are going to cover, this is the second part of the video, so we are going to cover the service mesh. So basically try to understand the networking model behind the service mesh. So so is service mesh a networking model? Yes, service mesh is a networking model, and it basically sits on the layer of abstraction above the TCP IP. So if you see the diagram, that's a 7 layer of OSI model, you will see that mesh just works above the network layer of layer 3 and 4. That's your network and transport layer. So the service mesh in this way assumes that a network is already present in your overall infrastructure application environment, and it's capable of delivering the bytes from point to point. Okay, that being said, but it also considers, although the network is able to deliver the bytes from point to point, but still, like other networks, the network is unreliable, due to which there can be prominent network failures. So it basically becomes the explicit goal for the service communication in a, which is currently invisible implied infrastructure, and into the role of first class member of the ecosystem, where it can be monitored, managed, and controlled. So in case of a network failure, the service mesh will make it sure how to communicate, still able to communicate and draw the response from the application. So unless it's an entire network failure that we are talking about. So that being said, the entire communication, which previously used to be invisible inside the networking, that is, you establish a certain protocols through which the communication happens, but it's if the end user tries to see that, and it's invisible to that. So if you are using a service mesh, then you can be assured to monitor the same, manage the same, and control the same, and after it you will be able to see how the communication between your different microservices is happening in a uh, service mesh model. Okay, so that's all for this session. In the next session we are going to cover more about the service mesh, like why you should use the service mesh, and try to understand into more details about how the, from an example, by taking an example of linkerd, we will understand what are the different uh, things happening in the backend when a request is being received by the linkerd. So what's overall happening inside a service mesh? Okay, thanks all. That's for all for this session. See you later.